Hi, I'm Ashley Fox from Mad Lemmings, and in this video review of a website, we're going to take a look at some problems that you may be experiencing and some easy ways you can fix things, get more customers, get more sales, get more rankings in Google, and improve your website. Let's go. In today's website review, we're going to take a look at Pure Sugar Studios and some issues they're having with their homepage and some ways to improve that, improve layout, guide potential customers and clients through a process, getting them to the right places, improving your images, being more contactable, and a bunch of other things. So let's dive right into the review. So taking a first look at this website, the biggest problem I see is the top has a slider on it and I don't see anything else. Actually, there's a big issue with the slider as well. The slider is scaling the images in a really strange way. They're too big. When you originally load the site, you can see that the images come in at the right size and then they expand to this really large format. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's obviously an issue. That's the first thing I would fix. I typically don't recommend to my clients that they use sliders because they're usually distracting and they don't lead to anyone actually taking any action, which is what you want on a website. The first thing you want people to do is make decisions, go to the place where they find the information that they're looking for. And here, of course, you have a photography website, and so showing some of your pictures isn't a bad thing. I think potentially you can use a slider at the top of a photography website. Maybe it works, but you definitely need to fix this problem on the top. And what I would also recommend, as we scroll down, you'll see this as a problem if you look at this from a first visitor's perspective. I actually have no idea what you do. Now, maybe I've come to your website because you've given me a business card, or I've found you on Google, or whatever it may be, social media, and I visited your homepage, but I actually don't realize that you do wedding photography. I mean, I kind of get a hint from the pictures, but until I scroll down, I don't actually see your logo here. And even when I see your logo, I still don't know what you do. And this is a big problem on a lot of websites. The first thing you should be trying to do is catch my attention and tell me what you do at the same time. So you should be appealing to the majority of your audience. You can't always catch everyone's attention, but you should know who your best customer is, your number one target is for your marketing, and you should be trying to catch their attention as soon as they arrive on your website. Now, you're not really doing that because your pictures are all out of scale. I don't know what you do, and when I'm scrolling down, I still don't know what you do. I see here, we believe in laughter, tradition, and love stories. That's interesting. Are you writing stories? Are you writing novels about love? Could be. Looks interesting. I still don't know you do wedding photography. I can't say obsessed enough. The pictures were breathtaking. Okay, you have pictures. This is a testimonial. That's nice. I don't think this white text stands out enough on this picture. I think that could be a lot better. Could either have a colored background or a black outline. It should be more to the right where the darker area of the text is. Light on light does not work. That's a graphic design standard. You need to have light on dark or dark on light to be able to read text. So this is readable when I struggle, but I shouldn't have to struggle. So this is, even though this is giving me a bit of an idea that you do photography, I'm still really struggling here to read that. And then you have some more interesting, catchy kind of words and some more pictures. And the parallax thing, that's kind of interesting, but it's being cut off here. Again, parallax, not always a huge fan of that. That's when you have an image sliding behind another image. They're moving at different speeds, or in this case, this one's not moving at all. It's a cool effect, but it doesn't always work. So you just got to be careful that you're taking advantage of the space that you have on your homepage. So I'm just going to keep scrolling down before we start from the top again and show you what I would do. Then you've got a portfolio of love stories. So you've got some of your portfolios, which is great. Again, I think that could be a little bit more obvious, but that's actually quite good. And then you've got the blog. It's a headline, it's a huge picture, it's taking a lot of space. It's okay on my big screen here. I have a huge screen here because I work on websites and design and stuff. I mean, I like a huge screen, but if I'm on a laptop or a mobile or a tablet, you're taking up all this space with all these huge pictures with just little bits of information, and it's taking me ages to get down the page to what I'm really interested in. Actually, maybe I don't even know what I'm interested in, but I don't quite know where to go or what to do. You need to make it far more obvious and far more compact in order to get people to where they want to go. So that's the main thing I would say here. And this footer is really kind of crazy as well. I'm not sure if you have all of these in here to try to rank for these in Google, if that's why you have them in your footer. Honestly, this is better presented in another page where you have more details on what you offer, what locations you work with. I wouldn't put this here. It doesn't really make any sense. So let's scroll back to the top again. We just go through. We see a lot of pictures, a few lines. Again, the blog here. I don't see how to get to the blog from this picture. It's all kind of quite confusing and spread out and really not clear what you do. Again, you might have people coming to your site because they know what you do, and so you've got a little bit of leeway there because they're aware of what you do. Sorry, I'm just moving in my chair. I have a bit of a bad back this week. And another huge issue on the front here is it's really hard to get to your menu, and when I hover on your menu, it's a bit of a mess because it's hovering over this scroll stuff here. It's not at the top. It's really difficult to find. It doesn't stick to the top when I scroll, so if I want to get to it again, I have to scroll back up, but it's not at the top. It's at the bottom of the picture. I know on your other pages that's not the case, but on your home page that also needs to be really, really easy. So what I've done is I've gone and looked for some other wedding photography websites to give you some examples. It doesn't always have to be in a specific format or order, but just to show you how much cleaner it can be. So here's another example of a guy. I don't know who he is. I just found this website somewhere in the UK. He has a slider on the top, which again, I'm not a huge fan of because I don't see your marketing message here. I have to look down here and then I see it. So it's not bad. Sliders can work. It shows kind of your portfolio, which is really interesting for wedding photography. But he's got his marketing message kind of here below, which is important. He's a wedding photographer based in Essex, so that's already telling you, okay, I'm looking for a wedding photographer. He's in my area. And then it kind of gives you his marketing message here of what he believes in. Although I would tend to try and make something that appeals to your main audience. What is it that you do that's different? What is it that you do that's unique? Why should I care to come to you and not somebody else? That's what your main marketing message should be trying to convey to first-time visitors. It should be catching my attention. And it shouldn't be too boring and kind of plain like, this is wedding photographer based in Essex. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Shooting joy, love and happiness across the UK. Well, that's not really telling me a lot. It's better than nothing, but it tells me what he does. And then he's got here the main places you can go to learn more about him, portfolio, blog, which is good. So if I want to learn more, I've already got 3 options. And then he's got some more stuff down here and some more stuff about his style and his photography and portraits, and then his blog, which you can jump straight into the blog posts here, which is great. I would also have a button to get to the blog in general, and then some testimonials. So that's quite a typical homepage. You've got main marketing message, most important places to go and find more information about you, an about area. Maybe that's not bad. If it's only you running the business, then that's perhaps important, but I might not be ready to learn about you yet. What I want to know is that you can make my wedding awesome. That's what I'm really interested in knowing. I want to see your style. I want to see how you work. I want to see examples. I want to see testimonials. And yes, I do want to learn about you at some point during that journey. So this one's not bad. And then there's a couple more here. There's Megan Kelsey. Again, she says where she's from and who she kind of targets. It's a little bit small and in a huge colored area. Again, I would put a picture behind this or something of your best photography, or the best photo you have that most appeals to your audience. That's a great way to go if you don't want to do the slider. And then she goes down and shows some stuff about her and some of her portfolio and some testimonials and the blog. See, again, you're getting a similar kind of format, which is kind of what you've got, but it's just not clear. And then if I look at, excuse me, some other ones, again, you've got the logo and stuff at the top, but still I don't know what he does. It takes me a while to get there until I scroll down. Yeah, okay, I can see wedding photography, family photography, blogs. So this one's not great. He's got some logos, which is good. Where he's based, it's a little bit cleaner. It's not perfect. There's another one here with a slider. And then a good marketing message here, non-traditional relaxed wedding photography based in London. So that's not the sexiest marketing message, but tells me quite a lot about you. So not about him, but about you first, which, as I says, you're interested in finding out that this is going to make your wedding awesome. You're going to get awesome pictures. It's going to be a seamless experience. You're going to get this delivered to you. That kind of stuff would be really cool to know, how things work, the process, some examples, some testimonials, maybe some case studies, which doesn't have to be as boring as it sounds, maybe just stories, you could call them, of how you've worked with clients, and pictures, featured weddings that you've done, stuff like that. And one thing that's really missing on a lot of these websites, which I would definitely suggest for yours and for everybody's, and it's a typical problem I see on most websites, is the contact details. If I want to get in touch with you at any point during my visit to your website, how do I do it? If it's difficult, I might not do it. Make it really, really simple. So you should always have a contact in your menu, which perhaps you do. Let me have a quick look. You have got contact in your menu. That's great. Although again, as I said, your menu is really not visible here. It should be at the top. Your phone number, your email should be at the top of every page. I shouldn't have to hunt for it. It should be in the footer. And the contact page should have all of that information readily available, as well as a contact form in case I don't want to email you directly. I just want to fill it out. This contact page, again, is a bit of a mess. I'm struggling to find what I need. Want to book us? Click here for pricing. Okay, that's maybe interesting, but it's not really clear what I'm seeing here. It's kind of taking me a while to figure it out. You've got order prints. Shouldn't that be on a separate page? I'm trying to contact you right now. I'm interested in finding out more information. I'm not interested in ordering prints. If I was, then I would probably already have your contact details. So that should be on a separate page for existing customers. You've got info here. You don't have your phone number. It's not in your footer. It definitely should be. Best practices, just to give you an example, I mean, a website that I did recently for a client of mine in Zurich. So you can see here he's got his main marketing message. It's in German, but you've got the phone number and the email on the top. You've got the contact page here. And down the bottom, you've got all of the contact information on the bottom left, the address, in case someone wants to write you a letter for whatever reason. That's great to have. Telephone, email, social media icons, even a little mini contact form is in here in case you want to use that. So it's really, really insanely easy to get in touch with you, because that's your business. Your business is people getting in touch with you. And if you don't provide that really, really easily, then you're really shooting yourself in the foot. So, main messages from this for your website, at least for the homepage. I'm not going to pick apart your whole website, but get your logo and your navigation bar on the homepage on the top. Fix your slider, get that below, or potentially remove it. Get your marketing message either on top of the slider or on top of an image or just below it. Think about who you serve the most, who your best clients are, what you really stand for, and how you can write a simple, clear message that would capture their attention. And then what I typically suggest is have a button below that to learn more. So that learn more button could take you to a page where you learn the process, how you work, some of your best clients, just kind of a page that gives me a whole bunch of information so that I can start to understand what you do, how you do it, why it's great for me, why I'm going to love it, stuff to get me really excited about working for you. And then from that page, you could then take people deeper to maybe the process of how you work, how the day's going to go in a typical wedding, how the prints come later, all of that stuff. And then that would lead to then getting in touch. And you could also have the first page also leading to your portfolio or to your testimonials. And you should also sprinkle your testimonials throughout all these pages in relevant sections to try and get people excited about what you do. And then as you scroll down on your homepage, you should also have, again, links to all those different pages. So maybe the first thing I want to see is your portfolio. That's the kind of information I want first. So make that really, really obvious. So straight under your main marketing message, let me get to your portfolio. Let me get to some testimonials. Let me get to more information page where you can learn how the day goes or how you work with people. Make that really, really simple. And the next step, 3 or 4 boxes underneath here that take me to that. And then you can also even have some of that information reiterated below. You could have examples of your portfolio or testimonials and then the blog eventually. But again, you should have buttons and really simple clickable elements that take me to those places very simply and very easily. I shouldn't have to hunt for that stuff. I'm really struggling to see where I'm going to click. You've got all these words everywhere, but I can't go anywhere. I don't know what to do. The pictures are cut off. There's lots of little statements everywhere, but nothing really telling me what you do and guiding me to my next steps on the journey of learning more about you and how to get in touch with you and how to work with you. So just think about your typical client flow and the things people want to know, and then guide them to those places one by one, and then get them to get in touch. Always give them options to get in touch within each page and on the header and on the footer. So it's always really, really simple. And then I think you'd definitely do a lot better. At the moment, people are probably struggling to find what they need, and you can definitely make that a lot simpler. And some of your pictures, just one last thing, I did a speed test on your site, and your site is loading, it really depends, it's loading from 10 to 30 seconds. And mostly you can see these purple bars here. They're really large images, and all your images are huge. They shouldn't be. I know you're a photographer. I know you make really large, huge images, but the web doesn't want your really large, huge images. To display a really nice image on the web, you typically need it to be 1800 to 2000 pixels wide. If I click on one of these images here, it's 2 megabytes, and I'm not sure how large it is. I can actually pick that apart on your website. Let me have a look at this image, for example. So this picture is, as you can see here on this display, I've got a picture info plugin here on Chrome. So your picture is 2600 wide, and it's only displayed on my huge screen at 2000 wide. So it's already 600 pixels wider than you even need it to be. So the first thing you should always do when you upload pictures is to resize them to the maximum displayed size on your website. And then you should also compress them. This is 2 megabytes. I'm guessing you can get this down to 200 or 300 kilobytes. And again, I would potentially display less pictures